I sat at the farthest table, near the swinging kitchen doors. A seat for the forgotten. A seat for the man they no longer claimed. The laughter rolled across the hall like waves, but it never reached me. When the waiter leaned in and muttered, "Dessert will be served soon," I felt my chest tighten. Not from nerves, from patience finally ending. They called me Dad's mistake. I heard it whispered at the rehearsal dinner, saw it etched into their smiles when they looked my way. A slip of her tongue, perhaps, or maybe it was deliberate. She'd always known how to cut deepest. But tonight wasn't hers, it was his. The boy I'd raised until she poisoned him against me, my son. Groom now, man tomorrow. I stared at him laughing at the head table, his mother's hand proudly resting over his. I wondered if he knew the truth of her touch, if he knew how easily those fingers had once tangled themselves in another man's hair while I worked double shifts to keep this family fed. He didn't. Not yet. I remember the first time I saw her. She was 22, wearing a red coat too thin for the weather, pretending not to shiver at the bus stop. I offered her my jacket. She smiled like it meant forever. Back then, I believed it could. Years passed, and forever soured. She grew restless, and I grew invisible. First it was late meetings. Then, girls' nights out that stretched until morning. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But her lies were clumsy. Perfume that wasn't hers clung to her dress. A hotel receipt crumpled in her coat pocket. A phone buzzing with his name, always work. I never confronted her in anger. Anger is sloppy. I chose silence. Silence buys you time. The night I knew for sure, I came home early. Her laughter spilled through the half-open door before I did. She sounded younger, freer, not like the woman I kissed goodnight. I didn't interrupt. I listened. Memorized. When I left, I took nothing but the certainty that the marriage was over and the war had begun. The divorce was quick, by her design. She wanted the house, the boy, the narrative of my failure. I let her take it all. On paper, I lost everything. That's what she thought. What she never noticed was the one detail I'd tucked away years earlier, an inheritance left directly to my son by my late father. Locked, untouchable, unless I released it. She thought it was buried, forgotten, not worth asking about. It became my blade. I played the role of the discarded man, paid support on time, sent birthday cards that went unopened. I didn't push, I didn't fight. Instead, I watched, waited. Every move she made, every lie she fed him, I noted. And when the wedding announcement came, I knew the stage was set. Dessert arrived. Applause for the cake, cameras flashing. His bride radiant, her family glowing with pride. At the head table, she looked at me from across the hall. That smirk. The one that said, "You don't belong here." I stood. Slow. Purposeful. The hall quieted. Not out of respect, but confusion. What could the man in the shadows possibly have to say? I didn't speak. Words can be twisted. I walked straight to the groom and handed him the envelope. A plain white fold, sealed tight. He frowned, curious, slipped a hand beneath the flap. Out slid the documents I'd held for years. A trust fund, accounts untouched. Enough money to buy him a house, to free him from her grip, to remind him who had truly built his future. And beneath it, a letter. My handwriting, not bitter, just the truth. The nights I rocked him when fevers wouldn't break. The Saturdays spent teaching him how to throw a ball while she was working late. The love that never left, no matter what she told him. And one final line. She lied to both of us. This is yours. Use it to build the life she tried to steal from you. The color drained from her face as he read. Her fingers clawed at his sleeve, whispering frantic explanations. But he didn't hear her. He was staring at me. Not with hatred, not anymore. The silence broke with the sound of his chair scraping back. He rose, envelope in hand, and walked toward me. For a moment I braced for rejection, but he stopped, chest heaving, and whispered, just loud enough for her to hear, "Thank you, Dad." The word hung in the air like a verdict. Her eyes widened. She knew then that her empire of lies had crumbled in a single breath. I didn't smile. Vengeance doesn't need smiles. I simply nodded, turned, and walked out as the hall erupted. Not in applause, but in whispers sharp enough to flay her alive. Outside, the night air hit like baptism. I lit a cigarette, something I hadn't done in years. It tasted of endings, of freedom. They called me Dad's mistake. Tonight, I corrected that. And as the smoke curled upward, I realized vengeance